Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on what time of day it is when you listen to this. This is Katannya Alven from London, and I just want to do my fourth part on consciousness and what is consciousness and why is it important for us as human beings to become conscious. Okay. Now here I've got "Welcome, Katannya" and an old photograph of me, and it says "Start a conversation," which I think is absolutely great, because that's really what we all need to do with ourselves, to start a conversation. Okay, and by the way, let's just make a record of what date it is. It's the 26th of August. Now 2 and 6 make 8, and August is the 8th month, at least by the calendar. I mean, that's been messed around with. But that makes it an 8-8, which is called the Lion's Gate. So it can be a very, very important energy, a very important energy. So you might discover during listening to this video some things that you didn't know. That's not putting me high up in a position. It's only that very often we come across some amazing things that's like the next step in our life. I've introduced you already to Delphin, Leslie Fieger, the Metamorphosis, and on the first one I gave you a brief rundown of what got me up out of the mud and sitting in Shonda Warren's Prosperity Club, and after the first 10 minutes being in absolute awe and realizing that this not only was dance and singing a passion, but I suppose you could say that this knowledge, which is known as gnosis, kenosis, but it is the ancient knowledge, and I just couldn't get enough of it, because I grasped, I was at that place where I realized I had to change my life, and the only way of changing my life was to change my thinking. It's known by one of the wonderful guys that went to a number of Delphin seminars. His name, unfortunately, I've forgotten, but he used to say, in between the ears is stinking thinking. Well, it's probably a little bit higher than the ears, but yes, it's that stinking thinking. And all it does is cause us to go round in circles. It's a sign of madness, actually. But we don't realize, we think, oh, this time it's going to be better. But we're not coming with any different ideas within ourselves. We might be reading different ideas, but we're still viewing them from our old standpoint. Now, that's one of the reasons why I did that website, which is about the process, transform your life from stress to one of joy, health and abundance. But that's doing these things, taking like a ball of knotted wool. Probably you men won't understand this too much, but the women will. And the cat's been playing with the ball of wool, or the kids have, and you're trying to pull the thread out from this tangled ball. And it requires incredible patience. Now, why I'm saying this is because there are ways of making a big jump. And one of the big jumps that I realized is that when I started the course with the Delphin Knowledge System and then started doing the daily exercises, I noticed a big difference. Then when I went to the seminars, I noticed an even greater difference, because there were all those people in the room, and the focus and the energy caused you to go blah, 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 you know. I mean, it really did. And you came out, it's like those old ways of thinking couldn't stay. They had to be shaken free. In, where is it? I remember when Colin and I went out to New Mexico to do Sufi dancing, and we did the whirling. And the whirling dervishes, this is a cleansing exercise actually, but you can't do it. Adnan would never let us do it to start with, because we were too mucky and we'd get very sick. So we had to do, you know, quite a number of days of rather like yoga exercises and a lot of dancing to Middle Eastern music, and which was wonderful. We were really in our element, but we were cleansing ourselves, because dancing cleanses you. And then when you came to do the whirling, the dervish whirling, it was really amazing. So these things have to be taken in steps, but we are being pushed to take these steps quicker and quicker, because the state of our world, as Leslie showed you, for anyone that hasn't watched the video of the Metamorphosis event, please do. But you don't even have to watch that to see the terrible state of our world, the state in the attitudes and the behavior of people, even in either Parliament or Congress, and many other countries around. And look at the yellow vests, and I'm in total agreement with their intentions, because through this quasi climate change, they've had more tax put on their fuel, etc. And also, if you look at what the Democrats are doing in America, and they're slangy each other. I've got a wonderful short video of John Voight talking about, you know, this hate that's going on. Now, what I'm going to do, and also in the British Parliament, is that the last thing I read on when I went on to Yahoo was Jeremy Corbyn was having a march, I think, to get Boris Johnson out. I mean, where is their thinking? It is stinking thinking. Now, when people at that level have got such stinking thinking, there is a job for us to do, whatever it might be. So what I'm going to do now is so I can introduce you to some of Leslie's work, as 21 years ago Colin and I experienced these same words. It's from the Delphin, oops, Daisy, can I get that there? The first, Delphin Knowledge System. It did come out, the Great Tome, it did come out in, Daisy, in a smaller version, like that, when Leslie republished it. And then we had the Journey. Daisy, well, that'll be seen. Can I see it? The Journey, and which was the second. And then we had the Quest. The first page is acknowledgements. And Leslie writes, "For me, it is almost impossible to separate the process we all underwent as this product you have in your hand was being created and the product itself. Although I claim authorship, there are many people who contributed in both tangible and intangible ways. Mere mention of their names in this acknowledgement is not as full an expression of gratitude and recognition as they deserve. The Delphin communication system you hold in your hands, here we are, would not exist without their individual contributions. They include Rosie Ada, Jean Basso, Susan Blaine, Amulf Kogler, Tom Moore, Beth Murray, Jerry Omlas, Phil Ross, Dale Smith, David Struckman, Jeff Van Dyke, and Vance Williams for being willing to take a stand for what they believed in. They illustrate the power of belief and conviction. George Elenidis, John O'Malley, Richard Mainland, and Howard Rubinoff for their timeless support to our cause. Peter Turple and his capable team of talent who recorded this material on tape, because we were listening to it as we were reading it. To Kimberly Lokisano for being a real sport and helper to me with whatever I needed, whenever I needed it. Dr. Gene Putnam for his contribution on the workings of the human body as molecular level. To Keith Routley for his knowledge and gift of breath and meditation techniques. Also Arto Waliminto, who provided his insight from more than 25 years of alpha training experience as a speaker and an author. To the late Charles Hanel for his seminal work, The Master Key, which is quoted extensively in this work. Italicized sections are excerpted from this book, unless otherwise noted. Most especially to Sandra Hartley, who most of all supported, motivated, and inspired me to get it done. She demonstrated daily the power of love and service. And to all benefactors everywhere who contributed to human potential and evolution, thank you from the bottom of my heart. This work is dedicated to my daughter, Ashley Alexander Fieger, and all the children of the world. Leslie Fieger, October 1995. Now here we have the introduction. He says, he writes, "My name is Leslie Fieger. Welcome to the Delphin system. Your life has just changed forever." But we didn't know that then. We only knew it later. "You will become more, be able to accomplish more, and learn how to have more in all aspects of your life. Every circumstance that exists in your life is the result of some cause in order for an effect to manifest in your life. It must be preceded by some action, and all action is preceded by thought, either conscious or subconscious. Since your thoughts are under your own control, it becomes evident that you can control the circumstances of your life. This course will explain to you the cause of every effect. It will clearly show you why everything has happened in your life, and it will give you the methodology to create for yourself the life of your dreams. Whatever you desire, whatever you can imagine, you can achieve, attain, accomplish, and become. Follow this course through carefully to the end. Complete the applications or exercises, and you too, like thousands before you, will become empowered to be, do, and have much, much more. Let's get started. Now, why does Leslie say thousands before you? Because the Master Key had been indeed a Master Seminal course, because there was a period that many high-flying Americans who became high flyers had done the Master Key. They'd also done other courses of similar ilk. But the Master Key, in fact, Rudolf Steiner did the Master Key, and many other people. So really, what you have in front of you, not with this wonderful knowledge system that Colin and I did and thousands of others have done during and since, but you have an event that is going to literally jettison your stinking thinking, even though you don't know your thinking is stinking, into a completely different place. Now, why is this so important? I'm going to go into this in the second, or it'll be part 5, because our planet is changing. Every thought, every person's thought, every moment of the day is transforming our planet. Now, we've got some people that are actually putting out some horrendous thought forms there, but we've got a growing number of people who are putting out love and joy. And so then when I go into this next part, I'm going straight in. So, you know, when you finish watching this, click on to the part 5. And I'm going to start with John Voight, who does about a 2-minute talk. And we have a choice: love or hate or love. So think about that. This is briefly Katannya Alven saying, great to talk with you, great to start this conversation, and I will please click on to the next video. Bye bye for now. Okay, this is Katannya.